Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 21 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Adam Weishaupt. Did I say that right? I really hope so. Adam, we really appreciate it, and we could not do this without you, so thank you so much. We think you're awesome. And if you guys want to be house guest of the day like Adam, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. All right, so just a couple of quick housekeeping things before we get started. Yes, I believe projecting was the word I was looking for yesterday, so thank you everyone who commented. And also just a heads up for you guys, because I know some of you are waiting, and sometimes these videos go up a little later or earlier or whatever. So I just wanted to let you guys know, if you're new here, Sundays I try to upload a little bit earlier because that is the day that I get to hang out with my grandma. But if I don't make that deadline before I have to go, they go up a little bit later. So that's just a little heads up for you guys on Sundays. And yes, I am leaving in a bit, so my hair is still in a towel right now. I gotta get this done. Okay, so when we left off yesterday, the Alliance of 8, Grateful, is continuing to fall apart here. Everyone is on to Jack, making 5,000 alliances and flirting with everyone. Bella and Nick seem to be on the outs with the 8 because they've been talking to people about possibly keeping Chemi around, because let's face it, she's not bad for their games. Jack and Jackson are the ones that want her out, and they've really been driving this whole thing. Jack, Holly, and Kat, we're all proposing maybe like Nick is the replacement nominee, but Christie is afraid to go after either Nick or Bella because she's thinking maybe Bella has that first whacktivity power. We'll finally find out on tonight's show what the whacktivity comp is all about and who has the first one. So also, Christie and Tommy are trying so hard to keep Grateful somewhat together. I mean, this thing is coming apart at the seams, but they are trying desperately to keep it together. I don't think it's gonna work. Okay, so Chemi and Nicole were chatting in the horse camp bedroom, and Chemi's like, I wish I wasn't so paranoid, but I really feel like I'm going up on the block. And at this point, Nicole has heard the plan now. She knows that Chemi is potentially going up as the replacement nominee, but she's still not saying it outright to Chemi because she doesn't want to like get caught up in that and have her name get thrown in the mix too. Oh, I have a tickle in my throat. So Nicole's like, why you though? Like, why should you be the one to go up on the block? It doesn't make sense. And Chemi's like, well, it's because of that one conversation that I had with Kat. And I talked about this yesterday, but I think I made like a very minor mistake here. So, you know, yeah, Kat was afraid that she was going to be going up on the block, so Chemi was trying to help her out by giving her names that she could give to Christie. And yesterday I said to go up instead of Kat, but it sounds more like it was actually... Am I boring you? It sounds like it was actually more people that could go up next to Kat. Instead of Cliff, because I think if you go up against Cliff, you're pretty much gone, right? Because nobody wants to vote out Cliff at this point. So anyway, Chemi says Kat is close to Mickey, and because Mickey banished her, he thinks that she has it out for him, but Chemi is saying that she doesn't. I don't know about that. But Chemi says, you know, things got misconstrued. Kat took that information to like Jess and Ovi, and they thought that she was saying that they have to go. So now Chemi is saying it's going to be either me or Ovi going up. She heard that directly from Christie. So Chemi says, if I'm nominated and I survive this week, I'm going to have no choice but to win the HOH next week. Yeah. Oh my God, I need some water. So she says, she wants to start campaigning to see if she can keep herself off the block, but she's worried that she's gonna make herself a bigger target. Minnie! Oh my God. It's okay, my dog just knocked something over and then she got spooked, but it's all good. So anyway, she also doesn't want to lay low and make it easier for them to get her out. So Nicole's advice for Chemi, follow your gut. And Chemi's like, you know what? You're right. I'm thinking I'm going to go talk to Nick. Good idea. All right. Meanwhile, Jackson is trying to comfort Kat because, I mean, she's like nonstop freaking out and crying, thinking that there's actually this big plan for her to go, and that's been the plan all along, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, we've been hearing it all week. And it's getting really tiresome for everyone, not just for us watching, but especially for the people in the house who have to deal with it. So Jackson tells Kat in a very aggressive way that she is gonna be fine. She's gotta stop this, she's gotta stop freaking out because she's making it worse for herself and she could potentially put herself in danger of being voted out. So you can tell he's very frustrated at this point. He even starts like raising his voice at her after a while. So he's like, you need to stop asking people the same questions over and over. And she's like, I'm fine. Y'all are paranoid that I'm paranoid. No, I think you're paranoid. But Jackson says, your body language doesn't reflect that. And then he says, don't let the doubt radiate out of your skin. What a line, right? So, they start to get more and more frustrated with each other, and of course, Kat starts crying. We've seen it. We get it. It's a repeat. All right, so then Christie and Jack were talking in the HOH room. Here we go. Oh, this is gonna set off some stuff here. So Christie is like, I'm not gonna put Chemi up if Nick and Bella are gonna try and flip the votes because I'm not gonna be stuck with the blood on my hands. It's not gonna happen. So Jack says, that's all part of Nick's plan. He is trying to spook you into not putting her up on the block. And Christie's like, I don't need Chemi to go. It's a bad allergy day. I don't need Chemi to go. I also don't need this move to divide our group. So she wants to know if Nick is working with them or not. She really needs to have a conversation with him and figure it out. So it seems like at this point there is really a lot riding on whether Nick and Bella are actually working with their group or not. So Jack is like, well, Chemi still needs to go because she's gonna be a number for Nick. And Christie's like, I understand that, but if Nick and Bella are both that close to Chemi that they're like trying to keep her around and I put her up, who's gonna go up on the block if Nick wins the HOH? It's gonna be me, Backstreet Boys, or NSYNC. I can never remember if it's Backstreet Boys or NSYNC. NSYNC, right? Because Justin Timberlake. Okay, but anyway, Christie does not understand why Nick would want to go against their group of 8. It just is not making sense to her. It's not adding up. So she still doesn't know what to do. She's freaking out at this point. Okay. So then Chemi goes to the Target bedroom to talk to Nick, Sam, and Bella. I was calling this the archery bedroom, but then I saw that everybody else was saying Target, and I try to keep it as like streamlined as possible. But every time I see Target bedroom, I think of like the store Target, which I love, but it just makes it sound like they're going to Target. That'd be so cool if there was a Target themed room. But anyway, so yeah, she's following through. She's gonna talk to Nick, Sam, and Bella. So Chemi's like, well, I talked to Christie and she basically said that it's gonna be me or Ovi going up on the block. So then Chemi asks Sam, did you talk to Christie yet? You know, about the veto? And he lies and says no. He said, I was gonna wait until Monday. Come on, man. No. So then Chemi explains to them why it seemed like she was throwing out a bunch of people's names. I mean, we've heard this explanation now. We know what's going on. She was trying to help Kat out. Kat misconstrued it and went and told Jess and Ovi. So then Chemi asks Sam, are you going to use the veto? And he's like, I'd like to, but I don't know what Christie's going to do at this point. You know, I'm going to have to talk to her. But at least Chemi is trying now, and she's reaching out to other people, and she's starting to make some moves here. So meanwhile, back in the HOH room, Christie is still with Jack, and now she's in tears. So Ovi comes in, and Christie is like, I'm scared about putting up Chemi. She said, I'm scared that the house is gonna flip and come after me. Just a little side note, I love Ovi's pug hat. It is everything. All right, so then Christie asks Ovi, have you heard anything about the vote potentially flipping? And he says no, but he did just see Bella, Nick, and Chemi together, and Sam also walked into the room. So this is interesting because, of course, Christie's going to start freaking out when she hears that, but I don't know if Obi just didn't realize it or he didn't want to mention it, but they definitely froze and stopped talking when Obi walked in. It was super, super obvious. But he didn't say that to Christie. So anyway, oh my God. So then Kat joins them. Oh boy. Christie says that she doesn't trust anyone. She doesn't know what to do. And this is like the last thing you want to say in front of Kat at this point, because Kat's been a mess all week. And this is just another level for her. So Christie is like screech crying at this point. She's like, I don't know what to do. Maybe that's why my throat's all messed up. But Kat says, it's okay. You can still go through with the plan and put up Chemi. No one's going to come after you. Please stick to the plan. So Christie says she wants to stick to the plan. And as long as Sam uses the veto, Chemi's going up. But why? So then next, Christie goes and talks to Nick in the backyard because she wants to know what's going on here. Is he trying to keep Chemi? Is he still working with the Alliance of 8? What's the deal? So Christie asks him, who do you think is creating waves? And Nick says, Jack. Which is a good answer because he definitely is, but also Christie's already having a lot of doubts about Jack, and this is only going to fuel that fire. So Nick says the only reason that he questioned Christie about the whole Chemi move is because he just literally loves Christie, and he wants to make sure that she's making a move that will benefit her game. So Christie's like, I don't know what to do anymore. She feels like the 8 aren't together anymore, and it's upsetting. And Nick's like, well, we should all meet and talk. You know, we all got to get together at the same time and talk about this. And Christie's like, yeah, but I'm just confused because Bella has gotten so close to Chemi now, it just doesn't make sense. I thought the group wanted her out, but now I'm hearing otherwise and I'm not in the loop. So Nick is like, I'm going to support whatever you want to do. You just gotta, you know, figure out what's best for your game. So then like 10 minutes later, Jack, Mickey, Nick, Bella, Sis, and Sam are all like in the patio area in the backyard. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 8 of the Alliance. They all agree the plan is still on when they're talking to each other. Sam is gonna use the power veto. Chemi's gonna go up and out. Is that what's gonna happen though? So then Nick says, you know, whatever we do, we just gotta make sure that Christie feels supported here. So back to Christie. She's continuing her panicking / crying tour. Now she's talking to Tommy, who is the best in the boat lounge. I just love Tommy. He just seems so genuine, and he gives, when he's like talking to someone, he gives them like all of him, you know what I mean? Like, he is fully present. It's just lovely. So she's saying all the same stuff to him. Am I just making Jack's move? You know, he thinks this is the Jack show. I can't even count how many times she said that now. And she says at this point she is praying that Sam won't use the veto because she doesn't want to have to put somebody else up. She doesn't want to do this anymore. So she says, obviously this alliance is not a thing anymore, and if this is not a team move, then I want to change my decision. I don't want to put Chemi up. So Tommy is still trying to push that he thinks it's best if they stick with the 8. Let Nick and Jack go after each other if they're gonna be like that. It's good for us. We could just like sit back and watch it happen. And then Christie's like, you know, I would never backdoor Jack, but he's trouble. She says he's a bullshit artist. That just makes me think of History of the World. Love. So then Tommy says, I know this first 2 weeks, which is really like 1 game week, has felt like forever, but it's still technically only week 1. You know, we need to just relax and breathe and chill. This is a marathon. So then Nicole joins them, and I think this is like a huge turning point here. Christie is emotional again when Nicole walks in, and Christie's like, I feel like Jack is playing everyone, and I'm tired of it, and I don't want Sam to use the veto. I'm scared. And Nicole says, all right, game aside, you need to do what's best for you. You know, I don't care if it's 1 person telling you what to do or 5 people telling you what to do, whatever. F all those other people. You do what you need to do. So then Christie is like, I just want to play a clean and honest game, and I'm here to have fun, and blah, blah, blah. girl, this is Big Brother, okay? Maybe you're playing a clean and honest game or whatever, but you can't control what all these other people are doing. So then Nicole says again, game aside, like even outside of the game, Chemi loves you. She really, really loves you. And Christie's like, I love her too. I love her too. And I love spending time with her. I don't think she would come after me. So it seems like Christie really wants to keep Chemi around. And she's crying and saying she's got to talk to Sam. She doesn't want him to use the veto. So then Christie's saying, I feel bad now that Kat's gonna go after I told her all week that she was safe, but Chemi actually cares about this game, and Kat probably doesn't care at all. She just wants to stay here for the clout, for Instagram, and for Mickey. Amen. I don't think she cares about this game. So then Jess and Holly join them in the boat lounge, and Christie is going through her monologue again. Blah, blah, blah. We've already heard it. Okay, meanwhile, on the other feed, Kat is also crying. She was with Annalise, Jack, and Jackson in the horse camp room, and she's saying at this point she wants to self-evict. She's so upset. She says, everyone is telling me that I'm paranoid, and I'm not. Come on. So she's saying she feels so left out. I feel bad that she feels left out, but like, she's not doing herself any favors here. So they keep telling her, you're safe, hang in there, just let Chemi go up on the block and sink her own game. I don't see that happening because all I've seen from Chemi is calm, cool, collected. She's handling this really well. So then Christie talks to Sam in the HOH room. More tears. Now this is an important conversation, but Christie is very emotional during it. So she gives him the same stuff that she's been saying to everybody else. She says, backdooring somebody week 1 doesn't feel right. She really felt like Jack and Jackson started ganging up on Chemi because like she made some sort of comments about their cooking or something like right at the beginning, and then after that they started trying to turn as many people as possible against her, and she doesn't like it. She doesn't like it. So she says, I'm not gonna do Jack's dirty work. This is not the Jack show. And then Christie is saying, I would feel bad getting rid of Kat, like if the veto's not used, but that's, you know, the way that she sees is the best way to make the least amount of waves. I feel like that was the worst way to say that. But anyway, Sam's like, yeah, that's great and all, but I still want to save Cliff. Like, I already told him that I want to use it on him, and I want to follow through with that. So is there someone else that you can put up on the block? And he's even like, would the votes be there to get rid of Jack? Because Christie is talking like Jack is like the worst person ever, so wouldn't you want to get him out? But Christie is too scared to do that, and she doesn't want it to look like she's been lying all week. So Christie's like, I swear I would put Jack up if I knew that the votes were there. And Sam's like, I'd have no problem voting Jack out. Do you guys think that the votes would be there to take Jack out? Because I feel like they could definitely rally them up. I think for sure. But I feel like Christie does not want to make that move. So then Sam's like, well, could you put up Ovi? He's calm. People will vote him out. No. So Christie's like, oh, I didn't even think of that. She totally forgot that Ovi was like even an option, even though she used him as a fake option when she was talking to Chemi. So Christie's like, yeah, Ovi wouldn't really ruffle any feathers. Poor Ovi. Why does it have to be Ovi? Why can't they just get rid of Kat? But whatever. So Sam is then proposing, okay, I'll still use the veto, so I'll be able to fulfill my promise to Cliff there. You will pretend like you didn't know that I was going to use the veto. You act all surprised, you drop your jaw, and then you put Ovi up on the block, and he goes. Poor Ovi. So then Christie's like, oh my God, Sam, I feel so much better right now. You made me feel so much better. So she's feeling like a weight has been lifted off of her, but I don't see why she's so cool with putting Ovi up on the block when he hasn't done anything either. Okay, so anyway, they have this whole plan that when they're talking to Jack, they're gonna pretend like Christie doesn't know what Sam's gonna do, but when Sam is talking to Jack without Christie around, he's gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna use the veto. Like, I don't know why she's so unsure of what I'm gonna do, whatever. They're trying to save face there. So Sam does follow through with the plan. He was talking to Jack, Jackson, and Nick, and he was like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna use it, but it seems like Christie doesn't realize that I'm gonna do it, like, so she's gonna be surprised or something. I don't know. It was sketchy, but it seemed like it was working. So then, after all that, Christie stops by the shower to talk to Nick, and she says, I'm done playing Jack's game. I'm not backdooring Chemi. I'm done being manipulated. And Nick is like, yeah, why do you think I came up to you earlier? You know I love you. You need to trust me. And then Christie's like, okay, cool. So then, after that, Nick calls Chemi over, and he tells her, all right, it's looking good, like, lay low, I've got your back, you know, we can't be seen talking too much because people are getting sketched out by that. So then, after Nick gets out of the shower, Sam fills him in on his chat with Christie, and he's like, whoa, there was a lot of emotion in that chat. I'm, like, not used to that. So then, he lets Nick know that Jack has been talking a lot of crap about Nick, saying you're trying to flip the vote. And I mean, he kind of was, though. I mean, he wasn't outright being like, we need to keep Chemi, but he was floating the idea around that it could be, you know, Chemi could be a number for them and it could be beneficial. So, I mean, he kind of was. But he lets Nick know the plan is still to use the veto, but now Christie's gonna pretend that she didn't know, and then we have to act shocked when she puts Ovi up on the block. So he's like, that's why I told Jack that Christie didn't know, because Nick was like, oh yeah, I was a little confused during that conversation. But Nick is wondering why Jack is like being like this with him. Why is he coming after me? And then he's like, oh, I wonder if Jack is jealous that Sis is flirting with me now too. I mean, it's definitely a possibility, right? Wars have been fought over women before. So anyway, Jess and Kat were in the bathroom area, and Jess lets her know that it seems like the plan has changed. If Sam does use the veto, Christie doesn't want to put up Chemi anymore. She would put up Ovi, but Kat will still stay. I'm really hoping that's gonna change. Just saying. No offense to Kat in real life, but game-wise. So Jess is like, all right, I need you to be strong. So of course, Kat is crying again. She says that she wants to go home. And she's like, if I knew how to get out of this house right now, I would go. And she reveals she did try to leave and they won't let her. Wow. So she tried to self-evict. Are you serious? Like, that's super lame. So then everybody paused from the game for a little while for a gratitude circle. So everyone was gathered around the dining room table and they were all talking about what they were grateful for that day. That's nice. Okay. So then later, Chemi and Jess were talking. They were at the dining room table and they were really just like clearing the air because Jess was one of the names that Chemi was accused of throwing out last week. So Chemi explains what happened with that whole name dropping thing. Things got misconstrued. I was trying to help Kat, blah, 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 blah. And Jess is like, it's okay. It's all good now. And it really does seem like it's all good now and they want to work together moving forward. So then Nicole joins them eventually. And Jess says, I want the girls, like in general, all the girls to know they should not be worried if I win HOH. Oh, snap. I really wonder what would have happened if Jess had been elected camp director. Oh my god, it would have been so crazy. I wonder who she would have banished. But anyway, Nicole's saying, yeah, the girls can run this house if we all work together. So Chemi says, the three of us, Bella and Christie, so that makes 5, should lock something down. Oh yeah, I would love that. Add Tommy to that mix and it's perfect. So then they're like, I'm not sure what's up with Holly, Sis, and Kat, but if we could get at least the 5 of us, that would be great. I'm a little bit worried about Christie in that group because I feel like she still has the potential to go back to Jack and like mess things up. But if I was them, I would not bother with Holly, Sis, and Kat because they also seem like they would definitely go back to Jack and Jackson and all them and like wreck this shit. Maybe not Holly, but Sis and Kat, oh yeah. But anyway, it was a late night in the Big Brother house. Big Brother gave them the Snapchat glasses to mess around with, and then the house guests took part in some like improv comedy for a while, which is fun. And then after that, back to the game. Chemi and Jess continued to compare notes and get closer. Chemi had a nice conversation with Bella, and Chemi let Bella know Jack was trying to get you nominated this week. He's really got it out for you. So then they were talking about all of Jack's alliances that he's trying to form and how it's ridiculous that he told Chemi that she was playing too fast and loose. What is this, Chicago? All that jazz. But like the nerve of him to say that when he's got like a million alliances forming right now. It's insane. So yeah. Today, I think they're doing the Power Veto Ceremony. They might even be doing it right now because the feeds were down. But as of right now, the plan is for Cliff to be saved with the veto. Ovi's going to be going up on the block. And then the plan is to vote Ovi out. But I mean, we've still got days until the eviction. The eviction's not happening till Wednesday. You know Kat is going to continue to spiral. So I think anything could happen here. I think there is a strong possibility that Kat could end up going this week. Please. So check back later. I will post the results for the Power Veto Ceremony in the info box below if that is in fact what's happening. And let me know what you think about all this in the comments. I think it's been a pretty exciting first week so far. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and until then, much love.